Alright guys, welcome to a new video. Today's topic is going to be, has the bar for photography become too low? This might be a little bit controversial, and even maybe a little bit hypocritical, but hear me out. So, I've heard these days, a lot of people will just call themselves photographers, right? They'll say, oh yeah, I'm a photographer, but then you ask what camera they have, and they're like, oh yeah, I just use my phone. You're like, really man, are you really a photographer, bro? Like, come on. Like, I get that you can take good pictures on a phone, but I think it really just defeats the whole purpose if you don't have a dedicated camera. Because I mean, that's the whole point of being a photographer, is you have a camera, a dedicated camera on you. And your phone, sure, is an okay camera. It's good enough, but it is not dedicated. And it's not supposed to act like a camera. It's supposed to act like a phone, to do phone stuff. The camera on your phone is merely for convenience. And if you do not have the guts to go out and buy a dedicated camera, then you can't call yourself a photographer. That might be a little bit controversial, but that's just my take on it. And the reason I'm so strong on this take is because I tell people I'm a photographer, right? And instantly they're like, yeah, I know a photographer. Or they're like, oh yeah, I take cool pictures too. And then you ask the people that say they take cool pictures too, they're like, you ask them like, what camera you got? And they're like, yeah, I just got my phone. And you're like, oh come on man, you're not a photographer. You just can't be a photographer if you only have your phone. You're an artist, you're creative, but you're not a photographer until you have the guts to go out and buy a dedicated camera. I don't care what camera you buy. You can buy, a $40 DSLR, $100 mirrorless, $5,000 mirrorless. Heck, Digicam, or not, well, premium compact, I guess, because the newer Digicams, the scamras, as they're called, are essentially just really low quality phone sensors with bogus specs and crappy build quality, and quality that is horrible, but people like to say, oh, it's vintage, Y2K. It's really not. It sucks. They all suck. That's why I tell people that want a new Digicam because they want the Y2K stuff. I'm like, yeah, don't get any of the new stuff, just go on eBay and buy a Kodak EasyShare for like 20 bucks. It'll do you wonders. I have one. I've had that camera since before I was born. Literally. I'll show a picture of it, but yeah. That camera, and actually I used it recently when I went to Eldora ski resort or whatever it was, and they actually commented on that batch of photos that was taken on the Digicam. And that just goes to show that, like, you get an actual decent camera, you can take decent photos. Like, if I took those on my phone, I really doubt they'd come out good enough for Eldora to reply back. But since I had that dedicated camera, honestly probably shouldn't have taken it out there because I think got wet and icy, but who cares, it still works. But yeah, I think if you want to call yourself a photographer, you need a camera. It's non-negotiable. You need a camera. We need to stop calling these mobile photographers, because they're really not. If they don't have the guts to go out and get a dedicated camera, it's just cluttering the photography market. Like, I get if you want to challenge yourself and use your phone or whatever, or like you can't afford anything else. But if you're not at least saving up for a camera, like, you're just a creative photo taker. That's what it should be called. And like I said earlier, it really doesn't take that much to buy a camera. It takes 60 bucks and 30 minutes to search up old DSLR on eBay and buy the charger and a cheap kit lens. I don't really care, but yeah, a cheap prime or anything, just a cheap lens, cheap camera. I don't care what you get, as long as it's a dedicated camera and it's not a camera. You can be called a photographer if you are dedicated to taking good pictures. But yeah, I think that's all for this video. I said this again. As you can see, I have a different background. This is not my home. This is New Mexico. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe.